Hi guys, Spiritual Butterfly here. Hope everyone's having as best of a day that they can at the lockdown period. I just wanted to bring a message today of hope that I've been sat thinking so much and so deep about, when you think about what you're doing here and there's, a lot of people are so blindly going through their life that it's so strange that when you wake up and you start to question everything and you start to see the world in a different way. And I think the first thing that happened for me was that I started to think, what's the most good? And I just remembered feeling that I wanted to become so good and pure and holy, and that I needed to be a light in the world, but I didn't know how. I came from, as everybody does, came from such a troubled past that I didn't know how to be that light in the world. So I just stopped eating meat and changed a lot of things about myself and stopped drinking alcohol and all them things, but I still never really knew what it was that I was doing here or what it was that was my purpose. I literally started saying to all of my friends, I need to change, I need to stop eating meat, I need to stop having dairy, I need to not go to things like nightclubs. I mean, not that I really did much of that anyway, but just couldn't be around them types of people, didn't want to be in groups of people, not even in the school playground. I felt like everybody's energy, I was so sensitive to it, and for the first time I was understanding why, and I was awake and I was just looking around at everyone and thinking, we're walking around on a planet and we're talking to each other, we're interacting with each other, like, does no one else find this weird? So then I started going online and researching, like, seeing the numbers. Like, I was seeing the numbers everywhere, and it was getting to the point where I couldn't ignore it anymore. And then the more I awakened, the more I sort of realised in little small downloads, and I just had to get rid of so many people out of my life. But that doesn't mean you have to get rid of everybody, and it doesn't mean that you're going to be lonely. In fact, I think at the moment I've got real friends for the first time in my life, like people I can actually trust and I can see straight through them. So I know that they really care about me and love me, and it's a mutual friendship. It's not a friendship based on me trying to please people all the time to be liked. It's a both. We're both gaining from our friendship, and it's a lovely feeling when you realise that you can say you have true friends. I mean, I do still have my oldest friend, and she's also on her awakening journey, and it's wonderful to see how far we've both came from being such little crazy madheads, like up for a party, up for anything, crazy little people, to be in so calm and just about peace. I mean, I would never have considered myself a bad person. I was always nice, but was I positive? I don't think I was that positive, actually. And if you think about it, when we come into our earth vessel, we don't actually know what the hell or who the hell we are or what we're even doing here. So, we wake up as a baby in the body that the Creator put us in, and before we came, we would have obviously known who we were, but as time has went on, babies for sure must have more of a connection to the Creator, because I think the more you go through your life and the more lower your vibration becomes, if you I'm a Capricorn, so sometimes my point of view is just going to be really, I just had quite a miserable time until I woke up, is what I'm trying to say. You know, Capricorn's journey is hard. I'm not saying that everybody doesn't have their own lessons to learn, but I think as a Capricorn, I do know the meaning of a hard road and a hard journey up that mountain. Some journey it's been, but wow, now I'm here. Now I have almost arrived. I feel amazing, and it's all thanks to the Lord. I can honestly say, without the messages, without the help, and, you know, my sister Samantha, she's a very spiritual young woman. She, you know, when there's that one person that you can connect with and they know exactly what you mean, and most of the time when I'm talking to people, I feel like I'm trying to drop little seeds in so that they sort of wake up a bit, but with her I don't need to do that. Like, I'll say something to her and she will say to me, I know exactly what you mean, because I only thought that yesterday or maybe an hour ago. And I don't, when you know the depth of something and you tell someone something, but you also know that there's so much depth to it, but you need to understand the depth of it to understand the thing that I just said. But without having to explain all that stuff, she already knows. And so I feel so blessed to have such a wonderful family. Like, my mum and my brother, they've had a very hard spiritual journey also and had to go through a lot. And, you know, I've got the best loving sisters and best brothers and best family and best children. Like, I'm just so blessed, and I've only just opened my eyes to realise the amount of blessings that the Creator has gave me. But it has took me all my life to work out the karma and the ancestral karma, or some things I must have done bad in a past life. And this lifetime I had to work super hard at everything just to get something. It's been a hard road. If you think, when we come in, we don't know who we are or what we're doing here. And so basically we have a different looking body, and then maybe we're too big or too thin, or we're too tall or too short, or too dark for ourselves, or too light and pale for ourselves. And so we have all these insecurities. Then, you know, do we have lots of spots? Do we have enough money? Do we have a good car? Like, do we even have a car at all? Because, you know, I was quite often taking the bus with my bags all over the buggy, feeling like an absolute clip, if I'm honest, just thinking, oh my gosh, here I come. Everybody's just looking at me. I've got loads of kids in this buggy full of bags, and there's someone cruising by in a nice, I don't know, BMW, probably just looking at me thinking, oh, you know, sometimes it doesn't happen now, but, you know, when I look back, I used to be so insecure about who I was and where I came from, and because I didn't understand what I stood for. I didn't even know what I stood for. I didn't even know what I was doing on the planet, and I had no foundation to work from and to work towards. I mean, think about it. We not only have to contend with how we look in the mirror and our home life surroundings and our family situation and school. I mean, school is so hard, and especially if you're not born blessed with good looks, or you don't come from the right type of family that can buy you nice clothes and this, that and the third. There's them kids that do and that are naturally blessed with good looks, or they might just be a really good fighter and everyone's scared to say the things they would say to the little quiet one in the corner full of spots who's got trousers on that are too short and his hair's too long or her hair's not brushed. Because, you know, I think while your consciousness is growing, it's just a natural process that we all have to go through, that feeling of just feeling like absolute shit. So then, you know, we go out into the big wide world and we've just got all these experiences, and we've got this lens that we're looking through at everybody else, but everybody's also looking at us with that same lens. And if they've got everything and they're absolutely beautiful, I'm not saying that everyone who's beautiful and that's blessed with money and wealth is a bad person, because, you know, them blessings come for a reason a lot of the time, because you're a very good person, but it takes a lot of work to get to that point. The blessings don't come for nothing. But if you were born into a rich family and you've been spoilt and you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, and then you see them poor people and you say, oh, you know, look at that tramp, or she's stinks, or she's got fleas, or look at his hair and the big nose, or they used to call me rubber lips at school, and you know, it really affected me like for a very long time. And a lot of things, when you look back, you know, there's a lot of things that you can look back on and you can just think, wow, like, did that really bother me so much that I went on just to self-sabotage? Like, a couple of comments off a couple of past exes that like criticized something about me and treated me so badly, to the point that I was constantly feeling down on myself and not eating properly, because I just felt like I couldn't physically eat through the stress of everything. And you get to a point where you're just done with all the hassle and all the stress, and then you realise one day, after so many repeated cycles of going around no love, coming back to the situation, it happens again, the cycle repeats again. They love you 1 minute, they want you back, you go back, they do the thing again. And it all takes a toll, and I think we have to be broken down right to rock bottom to literally, it's like a slap in the face almost, that you actually have to think to yourself, what is this place? What the hell am I doing here? Why am I living on a planet? And why are there's so many negative things going on? I mean, you know, when you think to yourself, there's children that are starving, like literally dying of starvation, and women and men, and they're our brothers and sisters. And there's also people in other countries that are like eating to the point of being obese and dying from diabetes and things, you know. There's people that can't afford to drink clean water, and yet there are actually people drinking alcohol till they actually pass out. Like, the other people would do anything just for a drink of water because they're that thirsty. Can you imagine being that thirsty? That's why fasting is so good and so important. And, you know, I haven't done it for a little while now, and, you know, I do mean to get back onto my fasting properly again, because, you know, it does teach you a lot about how, not only how other people are feeling, but it kind of cleanses you from the inside out so that you can get that real good connection. And especially prayer combined with fast, it's so super important. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that, you know, the mistakes that we make along the way, you know, there's so many people, the way the world is, the way that people are just blindly going through life in the 3D sense of eating, sleeping, waking up, eating, sleeping, waking up, going to work, doing whatever, eating something, watching something. And then the religious people, the devout religious people, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. You know, it's a very good basis to start with, following the 10 Commandments, because if we all lived that way, we would have an amazing world. But there's also something a lot deeper than just following that. You want that full connection to our Heavenly Father and Mother. We need to know, why am I here? And we need to be seeking and knocking on that door until that door opens. And the day that door opens, you will cry tears of joy, because you will realise that this has been a test and a school, and it was growing our soul. And, you know, I used to always think, why me? Why does everything go wrong for me all the time? There's never anything going right. And my sister says the same thing. In fact, we all do, you know. And we used to always think like that. And, you know, now I'm just so grateful for all them crappy little things that happened. And I mean, gosh, there was a lot, lesson after lesson after lesson, and I still was blind. It's like I was banging my head off a brick wall, repeating it. Eventually I learned it, and this is how it's gone on. And then when I've woke up, I've kind of been able to see so clearly when something happens that's not right, and then I change it. And then it's been a constant process of changing myself into a much better person. And not that I was a bad person before, but I wasn't a positive person, not all the time, because I had so much to contend with. But what I've realised is that if I do something nice for someone, like, before I would be giving, and I was so exhausted with the problems in my life, and I would still try to help everybody else and put me last, because I think as an empath that's what we do. But now I'm still the same, but I take a lot more time for myself, like to meditate and to relax and to surround myself and do things that make me happy rather than always everybody else. And I take so much pleasure in doing nice things for people, whereas before I was so tired that when I did a nice thing, I would think, so when are you going to do something nice for me? Or is it always going to be me doing the nice stuff? And that's what I felt like. And so the universe recognised that vibration that I was on. And until I stopped thinking that way, the abundance was blocked completely. But as soon as I realised that, when I felt a bit more rested and I'm just listening to my gospel and I'm praising the Lord, and I'm realising that the blessings are just pouring in. And I mean, this is no word of a lie, I mean pouring in. This is my testimony to the Lord, I never thought that my life could be like this. I literally cry tears of joy all the time about Christ, you know, and the blessings and the amount of love and everything, just abundance in every area of my life. I am filled with love and friendship and family. And I honestly, I could not have done this without the Lord. The Lord is the person, our brother, that came and was sent down to bring the message that we are free and we're loved. You know, if we're not following by faith and we're just following by rules, then what's the point? The whole point of following the 10 Commandments or following the ways of the Lord was to understand why, like fully why, and to feel everything, you know. With an open heart chakra, we can feel things, and at first it's very painful because, you know, when you open the heart chakra, you don't just feel love, you also feel pain because it's your feeling mechanism. So when there's a lot of blockage, when you've been through a lot of trauma and pain and heartache and abuse and all them things, it's very painful. Your first initial stage of awakening is a very painful process, but you will get to the other side. Just keep working on yourself and working on doing nice things for other people. Just do something nice, even if it's just to smile at a stranger, or buy your mum a bunch of flowers, or send your sister a little new top, or I don't know, buy your brother something small, or get your nana some chocolates, and just do nice things with your children and the people that matter, or your other half. Tell your other half how much they mean to you, and, you know, treat them well, treat people, let people be free, let them have room to be who they are and focus only on you. You know, when people watch too much what other people are doing, people can get jealous and, you know, looking at other people, why has she got more money than me, or why has he got more, and how can she afford that? Oh, and they're all gossiping. You know, whenever you see somebody gossiping, try not to partake in that, because, you know, why not just be happy to see somebody doing well and somebody beautiful and compliment them, rather than, I know the mind, the ego plays tricks, and it will say to you, seeing you compared to her. She looks miles better than you. So naturally, you'll be inclined to give the person a dirty look because you're thinking automatically, your ego is telling you she's going to be looking down on you, because that may have happened to you a lot of times before. And in fact, it generally may well have just happened because that's the dynamic. If you don't look mint and you don't feel mint, and if you feel mint, if you feel beautiful and good enough, nobody will ever be able to make you feel not good enough, because even when you get that dirty look, you can smile and know that you're loved, and know that whatever shape, size or colour your body is, you are who the Creator made you to be, and you need to shine your little light as bright as you can and walk around with your heart filled so much full of love. And, you know, I remember when you're having a bad feeling, that it is just a feeling, and you've probably had it 1,000 times before, and it does pass. So don't dwell in that place too long. You know, do some meditation or listen to some uplifting music or phone somebody that you love. Like, don't sit in pain too long, and don't dwell and wallow and self-sabotage because of the pain that you're in, because it will do you no benefit. Like, while everybody else is pushing forward with all the blessings and moving through them energies and riding the waves of the cycles of the planets and the moon and the whole journey, just embrace it. Just embrace all of it, and just, you know, just really learn about everything. You know, I have been creating so many little projects over the last few weeks, and I've really literally transformed my whole house. Like, literally with nothing, with hardly any money, I have had so many good ideas. And just fill your time with things like that, rather than negativity and doubt and gossip and doing really low things that don't even make you feel nice. They might feel nice at the time, but tomorrow, trust me, you feel like crap once you've had a drink and done all them types of things. And then you want a low vibration for weeks, and then you keep that beer for you. You just feel strange and like you're the worst person in the world. When you haven't had a drink for a couple of weeks, you think, oh, it might be a good idea to do that again. So then you do it again, and then you go back down again. If you don't do it ever again when you say you're not going to do it again, you'll go higher and higher and higher. The more good behaviour you do, the more higher your vibration will raise, and the better you will feel, and you'll see things a lot clearer, and the blessings will start to pour in when you love yourself. Because when you love you, you can start to love everybody else. And most importantly, remember the Lord in every moment. Every moment. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I really do hope that everybody's okay, and I pray for anybody that's not in a good situation. I love you all, my brothers and sisters, and I pray that one day soon we'll be in an abundant world where no one's suffering and there's no starvation, no demons around us sabotaging us, because we really do need to stand up now and take a stance, which is love. We need to love one another, all of us. Every single one of us human beings came here together to experience this, and the dark ones have kind of pitted us against each other with every insecurity and lack and fear, which is why they're funding both sides of every war. We have nothing to war about. Our Creator gave us everything. We can share it all, and we can all be blessed. No one has to suffer to make someone else feel better. Why should there be the haves and the have-nots? I know there has been that, but it's time things change. It's time we graduated to our heavenly place as one. So do something good, even if it's soon as you've watched this, for somebody. Ring somebody and tell them you love them. But thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Namaste.